Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. Today we are doing the love predictions for June 2020. So the general predictions reading is already out. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to link that in the description box below. And we're doing not only pick a pile of cards, but also pick a gnome today as well. I know a lot of you really like that, and it gives you a layered reading so that you get kind of more of a personalized reading, although it is still just a general reading. So as I always say, this is a YouTube reading, it's not a private reading. If there's something that doesn't resonate with you or that you feel doesn't fit your situation, that's fine, just leave it. If it's really not resonating, feel free to pick another pile. And you're welcome to pick more than one pile or more than one gnome. There's a lot of leeway here. So I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons, including Alex, Kat, Alexandra and Ashley. Thank you so much for your support. And if anyone does want to become a patron, please do consider checking that out. It really helps the channel. You get lots of nice rewards depending on which tier you've picked as well. We do exclusive picker cards over on my Patreon page. There is a monthly prize draw at the end of each month to win a reading with me, and you just basically get to know me a little bit better. We chat a lot in the comments whenever I post something and in private messages as well. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description box, or if you want to help out the channel in a different way, there is also a PayPal link for anyone who wants to tip me for doing the reading or give me a small donation so that I can buy new decks. Or if you would like to actually send me a deck, if you're really generous, then I do have an Amazon wish list with decks that I would really love to get, so do consider checking that out. Anyone who wants to book a private reading, the link to my Etsy page is in the description box. So yeah, just always check out the description box, because sometimes I just link like some videos in there that I think you might like, or just other things. So always check it out, because it's always full of stuff. So let's look at the piles today. We've brought back these Harry Potter Funko Pops because I think they were quite popular when I put them in another reading. I'm trying to think which one it was. I think it was What is Your Destiny in This Lifetime? But they seem to be quite popular. So we've got Harry Potter on pile 1. And on pile 2 we've got Hermione Granger. So just think what is coming towards me in my love life in June. What's going to happen for me in love in June 2020. Also got Bellatrix Lestrange on pile number 3. So if you want to go by the character, if you want to go by the actual cards themselves, that's fine, just whichever one you feel most drawn to. And you can pause the video if you need to and take as much time as you need. And then we're going to pick a gnome as well. So Gnome A, as I'm going to put them in the description box for people who don't remember the names. This is Gismund. Gnome B is Gunvald. So you'll get some cards from them as well, but you'll also get your channeled messages in the gnome section. This is Gnome C, Geir, the little knitted hat. And this is Gnome D, Gjord. So cute. So whichever gnome, character, etc. you're feeling most drawn to, you can go to the description box or the comments section. I'll pin the timestamps at the top of the comments section, but I'll put them in the description as well. I would recommend watching the character pile first and then adding the gnome on the end, but you can do it how you prefer to do it. And I'm going to start with character pile number 1. Hi there everyone who picked pile number 1 with Harry Potter. This is kind of the main part of your reading, and then the gnomes will give you your channeled messages and a few extra cards to make it more personal for you. So we're going to look at these tarot cards today, the lovely Ramses Tarot of Eternity, and then we'll take a look at your oracle cards after that. So we've got the Two of Swords, the Fool, and the Tower. Okay. Interesting. So it seems like a time of change for you is coming in June, pile number 1. I see with the Two of Swords that you've maybe been in a situation that's been kind of stuck in many ways. Like maybe you've gotten yourself into a situationship or third party situation, or you've been kind of chatting with someone and that person is kind of maybe not with their words but with their actions is making it clear that they're never going to be available to you, or that they're never going to be ready to fully 100% commit. And so with the Fool and the Tower, I see you breaking that cycle. You're breaking that stalemate, because I'm really seeing like this kind of blocked energy with the Two of Swords there. And I know a lot of you will be afraid of the Tower card because it often talks about a very destructive change or something that can be quite, it's like destructive and disruptive in the moment for us, but it brings positive things in the future. But when we're going through it, it can be quite unsettling. But I think this is very positive, actually. Coming out with the Fool, it's like a choice that you've chosen to make, and you're changing kind of what you will accept for yourself. You're changing your situation, your circumstances, etc., and you're making that stand for yourself. It's not happening to you. It's you who's choosing to make this change. So I think that's a nice message straight away there. So whatever situation is being quite blocked or stalemate, it's now going to be changing and improving for the better because of your own free will. So let's look at your inner child card. So this is Child of Hearts, which is the Page of Cups, and if you've noticed the three bears in the background, it's Goldilocks. So she's looking in at the three bears' house, and she's going to go inside and taste their porridge and sit in their chairs and sleep in their beds and kind of cause chaos in a way. So it's an interesting take on the Page of Cups, who is a very sensitive and curious person. So I think you're kind of becoming more curious about what you could have in the future here. There's this sense of opening up after being in a very blocked situation, and a situation that just wasn't moving forward. So you're choosing to free yourself from that now and thinking, actually, I'm going to do me now, and I'm opening up and I'm looking to see what the future could hold for me. So maybe there will be some kind of casual dating for you here, where you try and see which one is best for you. You know, that this porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold, this is just right. That feeling of testing different things, trying things out. But I see with the Child of Hearts and the Fool card, there's a sense of kind of childlike energy here. So seeing the world in a less serious way and choosing to take yourself less seriously, because maybe you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself in love to find someone that will be committed and settle down with you and who wants the same things, and to kind of go into that and see it for what it is at the beginning. So, you know, going into a relationship knowing that it's going to be something committed rather than just getting to know someone and seeing where it goes. So I see you being less serious and strict with yourself in your love life moving forward. Because I think sometimes the people that you've been dating in the past, maybe they've been committed but quite boring, or maybe they just have not been available in some way for you. So I really like this card, this feeling of curiosity and looking for that home. You know, Goldilocks is looking into the house and she is imagining what it would be like for herself to live there. So there's a sense of looking for home and looking for stability that comes with that card. So I really like that you have that message. So what else do we have? We've got an Oracle of the Mermaid card here. Experiments, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, and arrogance. And this is really interesting because we've used the Harry Potter Funko Pops here, and I think this thing really looks like a Dementor. And Harry defeats the Dementors, so that's really interesting. I think that you are choosing to take a stand against people who have not treated you well in your love life. I think you are choosing to, you know, remove yourself from situations where people have been very cruel or very arrogant or very manipulative of you here. It's like maybe someone has been kind of forcing you to dance to their every will, or maybe they've been playing you off against another person, for example, like, making you feel jealous in some way. But you're definitely trying to take a stand and free yourself from that, and that's very admirable. So then we got two Faerytale Oracle cards today, and I only wanted one really, but because two fell out, I took both of them. So we'll see what they have to say. So we have the Snow Queen, Loyalty, and Snow White, Purity. Okay, so interesting, because when we get loyalty and purity together, I'm kind of thinking like being loyal to you, being loyal to yourself, and choosing to only accept the best for yourself. And honestly, with this Snow Queen and Snow White, this repeated kind of snow theme, I'm getting strong, like, Queen of Swords vibes here, like standing up and being like, no, this is what I'm accepting. I'm not accepting any less than my standards, basically. And I'm not talking about the physical things like how someone looks or what is in their pay packet. I'm talking about the way that they treat you, the way that they imagine a relationship to be in the future. So commitment-wise, future plans, ideologies as well. So, you know, people who have the same outlook as you, the same worldview. So there's definitely a feeling here of being loyal to yourself for a change, rather than always trying to change yourself to fit in with what someone else wants. So that's nice. It feels like a real shift in the way that you're thinking in this month. And your romance angel card says, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So exactly, if you want this love that is meaningful and balanced and beautiful and makes sense to you, then you have to take the steps to get there. So not settling for less than you deserve, and also not trying to make it work with someone who clearly isn't going to be able to offer you what you want. As difficult as that might be to move on from or to accept when we get very, very tied up in a situation where we really just want it to work out. Sometimes it's best and it's healthier and it's the stronger choice to just take a step away from that and choose ourselves for once rather than another person. So I hope that makes sense to you, group number 1. I'm going to put your charms on top now, and then we'll do your dice. So if you're wearing headphones, you might want to turn down the volume a little bit, because this could be a little bit loud. I just turn this slightly as well. It feels like it's not perfectly straight. That's a bit better. Okay, so what is coming up for group number 1 in their love life in June 2020? Okay, so let's see. Looking for initials first. So I can see an S here, and Y, and T. Okay, so S, Y, and T, that could have some meaning for you as a first name, a surname, a place name. Maybe just a particular word will come to you when I say those letters, but if it doesn't, that's totally fine. It might just be for a few people. So I also see Aries energy here, and the word imaginative, which is Cancer energy. So when I get that imaginative sign, it's making me think of you imagining a better future for yourself, and so it's pulling me back to that Child of Hearts card with Goldilocks trying out different things for herself. You can also see freedom here, so very interesting that freedom also is in this heart, so choosing to free yourself from a situation that's been very stressful or very draining for you. And we've got protected as well, so that's really lovely, because often the difficulty with the Fool is thinking, if I make this leap, if I take this leap of faith and choose to start afresh in some way, will that have negative repercussions for me? And so that charm is saying, no, you're protected as you make this leap, you're protected as you pull yourself out of this situation. That's a really lovely message to get. And we've got the owl here, so this is saying listen to your inner wisdom. So maybe this is something that you've been feeling that you really should do for quite a while now. Maybe it's been kind of building up for quite some time, and you might have been ignoring your inner voice or just hoping that it was your doubts or worries. But I think it's time to listen to yourself here, because I really think that you are a strong person and that there's no need for you to bend yourself to match someone else's desires or expectations. I think you're fine exactly as you are. So we've got the wasp here, which talks about pain. So of course, this being a painful situation for you, and possibly the pulling yourself out of the situation may be painful. Changes and endings often are painful because we're kind of leaving something behind and going into the unknown. But I really see that this will have a positive effect for you moving forward, because I think it really has been draining your energy, like this Dementor who kind of sucks that energy out of you, pile number 1. So we've got another zodiac sign. We've got Gemini. And the gun here, so the gun always makes me think of negative energies and emotions. So if we're carrying a grudge, bitterness or resentment, if we're carrying around that pain from the wasp, you know, that feeling of being hurt or being rejected or manipulated in some way, we need to release that moving forward. We need to release those negative things that we're carrying around with us, otherwise it will just eat us up inside, and it will also have negative repercussions for future relationships. You know, if you're still carrying around the pain that someone else caused you, you can then project that into future relationships, or you can make those experiences color the way that you look at another person, and that's not fair for either of you. So definitely this sense of needing to release that. Also got the musical symbol here. So what I would say with the musical symbol is choose music that makes you feel empowered. Don't listen to music that's sad or depressing or angry. Choose music that is optimistic and makes you feel empowered, because that really will have an impact on your mood and the way that you choose to look at the world around you. So we have, I'm just knocking things, we have the skeleton charm here. So this again is saying skeletons in the closet, things that we're carrying around from the past that we need to get rid of. I love that the apple charm fell out on the Snow White card. That's really, really beautiful. The apple is all about health. So again, choosing to make ourselves more healthy in mind, body and spirit, choosing to have healthier relationships for ourselves. We've got the cupcake here. Very much a Goldilocks charm, I think, because this is about indulgence. It's about treating ourselves to something that's a little bit naughty. So, you know, like I was saying, maybe casual dating or doing things to build yourself up. So before you go back out into the dating world, maybe get a new haircut, maybe get your nails done, or get some nice new clothes for yourself. Kind of that feeling of just, it's a new me, it's a new chapter that we've got there with the Fool, wanting to start afresh and feel bolstered by that little treat that we give ourselves. I'm also seeing that we've got 2 crystal balls here. So the rose quartz ball is about love and relationships. So obviously that's what this reading is about. But the black obsidian ball is about things that are hidden from us, things that are secret or mysterious. That's interesting. Again, I'm feeling that kind of curiosity there. But maybe for some of you that will mean that someone has not been fully honest with you and you're just choosing to walk away, maybe without getting the closure that you would have liked, but you're just choosing to leave it as it is. Interesting, another Harry Potter reference. So this charm always makes me think of the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. So it's like a circular door with snakes wrapped around it, for those of you that haven't seen it or have forgotten. So whenever I pull this charm, I think of something's happened, like you've opened a can of worms or you've let that monster out of the chamber, but it's out now, so you needed to deal with it. It's like pulling me back to that skeleton charm again, like this thing that you've been carrying around. It might have triggered something within you. This relationship might have had something to do with previous relationships, or it might have triggered issues from your childhood, but it needed to happen, it needed to be dealt with, and now you can move forward. You know, it's just saying, it's like a validation that you needed to have this experience in this lifetime so that you could learn and so that you could move forward and grow as a person. So just take that on board as well. Even if you can't see the lesson in the situation right now, you might be able to see that in the future and just know that it's made you a stronger person. So we've also got the frog charm, and this is about someone who is like a good friend to you. So I think you will also be able to have some enjoyable times with friends in this month. So whether you're actually able to get out and see them, I know in some parts of the world that's now possible, or whether you're just kind of catching up from a distance or in an internet way or kind of electronic communications way, I think you're going to get some support from your friends in this month, which is really, really nice. And we've got the octopus, so busy month, juggling quite a few things, maybe love not being the first priority for you for some reason. Maybe you're trying to kind of focus on getting yourself into that good, stable position first before you fully open up to new connections. We've got a god charm as well, so if you're new to my channel, whenever a god charm comes out, this says that this god, this deity, is reaching out to you and saying, that they would like to help you in your situation. So for those of you that feel comfortable doing this or feel called to do so, consider praying or lighting a candle or meditating and calling upon Hermes or Mercury, however you prefer to call him. So he's the Greek and Roman messenger god, and he's the god of many things. But he's coming out to you now saying that he'd like to give you some support and some guidance. So if you feel called to do that, then do consider working with him. And then we've also got the tape measure here. So this is about something or someone measuring up to your expectations. So I think moving forward, you're going to have a different idea of what you want in a partner. So you're going to look back at maybe the warning signs or the negative traits from people that you've been with previously, and you're like, right, I'm going to spot that earlier on next time, and I'm not going to think that someone being really charming is a good thing when actually they're narcissistic, or they seem charming but they're manipulative. Like, I'm going to be more analytical of people in the future. So that's what I see there. Now I'm going to roll some dice for you as well, of course. So let's see which set of dice I'm using first of all. Group number 1. 4. So that's my Looney Tunes story cubes. So how many of these dice am I rolling for group number 1 today? Just 2. Okay. So if you're new to my channel, I use quite a few different techniques in divination, just because I want to see synchronicities in the messages, like that apple falling out on the Snow White card, for example. I just think it really makes the messages much more validated, and it makes it more fun as well. So what's coming up in June 2020 for pile 1 in their love life? Okay. Yeah, okay. So we see this person who's got like a bucket or a pot stuck on his head, and he's walked into a wall, so it's like reverberating around his head. So I think you've really been through the ringer recently in relationships or situationships. I think someone has been kind of almost making you believe that you're going a bit crazy, or almost making you believe that you're being unreasonable in how you perceive their behavior. It's like they're doing something really bad, but they're telling you, why would you have a problem with that? Or like, why would you think that that wasn't normal? You're not normal. And so I think someone has been really kind of manipulating you in not a nice way. I mean, manipulation is never good, but sometimes it's done because you want someone to see something that they wouldn't have realized otherwise. But I think this is definitely like a negative thing. I think there has been toxic or abusive relationships for you in the past. There has been maybe narcissistic or very egotistical people that you've ended up falling in love with or being in a relationship with, and it's kind of left you doubting yourself in some ways, or just kind of thinking, I can't put myself through that headspin again because it's just so intense and overwhelming. And then I'm seeing here on the Snow Queen, we've got this baton. So this just makes me think of you like defending yourself and thinking like, if anyone comes near me and tries to do that again, like I'm going to completely be assertive and stick up for myself. So there's definitely a feeling of independence here. And it's interesting. I was saying Queen of Swords when I saw that card, and now we've got like, it's not a sword, but it's a baton. So interesting that that came out as well. So this has been your first part of your reading, group number 1. So if you remember which gnome you chose, then you can go to the timestamps and pick that now. If not, just go back to the front of the video and pick 1 or maybe 2 if you're feeling drawn to more than 1, and that will give you your channeled messages and your extra messages. Okay, bye bye for now. Hey there everyone who chose pile number 2 with Hermione Granger. This is your kind of main reading, and then the gnomes will give you your channeled messages and a bit more guidance on your situation and what's coming up. So we're going to look at your tarot cards first, and we're using the Ramses Tarot of Eternity, and then we'll look at your oracle cards and do everything else as well. So let's see what we've got for you. So we've got the Death card, which is Scorpio energy coming out there. We've also got 5 of Wands. I just love the artwork on this deck, it's just stunning. And the Star, which is Aquarius energy. Okay, so beautiful. Okay, I think I know what's happening here. So I think some of you have been through a very difficult situation when it comes to love. I think you've been in in situationships, in maybe third-party situations, in relationships that just weren't doing it for you. With that Five of Wands card there, I'm seeing arguments, differences of opinion, or just people wanting different things in life. So maybe you were in a relationship with someone and you really, really wanted it to be committed, or you really wanted to get married and have kids, and that just wasn't what they wanted. That wasn't what they were looking for. So they couldn't provide you with what you were wanting. So that Death card there is symbolizing this ending that's come about, and maybe that's because you chose to end something, maybe you chose to walk away from someone, or maybe it just happened because someone chose to end a relationship with you, or maybe, you know, you asked someone that you really liked if they would like to date you and they rejected you, and it was just like a big moment of sadness for you. But I see things getting better for you in June. Pile number 2, I see this beautiful star card coming in. So whether this manifests itself as a new love opportunity coming towards you, or whether it's just you start to be a lot more optimistic about your life and you start to move on from these past experiences. I'm not sure yet what that will be, but I'm seeing definitely a beautiful change here. That beautiful star is all about getting back that hope and faith, getting that optimism back, and also remembering that you're being guided. So it's a really nice feeling of this divine presence is around you and is helping and guiding you at all times. And I love that that's on this Death card as well, because look at all of these deities that are surrounding the coffin and the spirit that's coming out of it. They're all kind of guiding it to the next stage of their life. So they're guiding it through this transition period, and I really like that. So let's see what else we've got for you. Group 2, so definitely people who've been through a tough time, and you might find that you resonate a bit with pile number 1 as well, because there was some similar themes there going on for them, although slightly different emphasis with the cards. So you've got 2 inner child cards. I was only going to pull 1, but 2 came out. We'll see what they say. So we have Seeker of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, and this is Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Really cute, and there's Toto, the Emerald City in the background. And we've also got Guardian of Wands. Okay, so this is King of Wands, and it's Archangel Raphael, looking over the world, watching over everything that's happening. So that's a beautiful message straight away there, that you're being watched over and guided, like it's linking back to that star card. You have got guides around you. I would say that Archangel Raphael is also around you, and he is the Archangel of healing and of travelers as well, people who are on a journey. Dorothy is also on a journey, but ultimately she discovers that what she's looking for, she already has it. So, you know, all along she has the ability to get back home because she's wearing those shoes. She's just not aware that they have that power. And I think she says something at the end of the film like, what is it? Like, if I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look further than my own backyard. And then she says something like, because if it's not there, then... it's something like, if it's not there, then it was never really lost to begin with. But I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but it's something about how whatever she wants in life, she kind of already has it within her. And it's also about counting your blessings, so just remembering what you do have already to be thankful for. And I think that's coming through there with Toto, like this, the good friends and the family that you have around you, and what you have within you, your individual personality, and that drive and that power and strength within yourself. That's something that you have to be grateful for, because a lot of people don't have that, but you do. It's coming out here quite strongly. But just have some peace in that Archangel Raphael and the angelic realm are watching over you and are guiding you to better times, and they're trying to heal you from whatever this Death card is talking about, and the Five of Wands, the difficulties in relationships, the situations that have been very painful, even traumatic for some of you, I think. That is now being released to the angelic realm and being healed and cleansed and purified. So that's really, really beautiful that those messages are coming out for you today. So let's see what else we've got in the cards. We've got an Oracle of the Mermaid card, energy field and adjustment, aura cleansing and health. So yeah, you are And this is quite a nice message as well, like you're cleansing people from your aura, you're cleansing people from your actual social circle, you're choosing to step away from people, go no contact maybe with certain people. But I love how this energy cleansing ball is on her heart chakra. So this feeling of cleansing away all of that pain, releasing it, and adjusting your energy field as well, like making yourself feel lighter. And also, it's this orange color, this kind of fiery color, and you've got 2 wands cards, which are fire energy. And I'm now just being drawn to that hot air balloon. Like you put the fire in there and it just starts to float up into the sky. I love hot air balloons. I love all kinds of balloons, and I don't really know why. They just make me so happy when I see them. So maybe it's the feeling of freedom that comes with it, but there's a feeling here of you being lighter and you breathing a sigh of relief and allowing yourself to be healed and cleansed. Maybe in the past you were kind of holding on to the situation still, and so you weren't allowing yourself to be healed, but now I see you opening up to that. Her heart space is open, she's allowing it. And just that vision of floating away on a hot air balloon and being light and free and happy and being able to look down on the world, kind of like how Archangel Raphael is doing so in this picture. So really beautiful symbolism here. And also I do want to pull it back again to that death card, because look, this spirit is now free from its earthly body. And even with the 5 of Wands card, all of these people who are still caught in this situation, because maybe there is a third party that's still caught up in the situation and you freed yourself, this bird is soaring freely above them, just thinking, oh, I'm so glad that I'm not stuck in that situation like they are. So a lot of emphasis on freedom here and lightness. So your Faerytale Oracle card is the Nixie of Millpond, memory. So yeah, this feeling of releasing those memories, choosing to let go and not looking back on that anymore. And I feel like also, if you do look back on it, learning to do that without feeling the pain and without feeling that sense of longing or hurt or shame within yourself, just being able to look back on it kind of dispassionately. And your romance angel card is unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So yeah, I think this is all just to do with moving on from that past situation, realizing that you did all you could. There was nothing else that you could do to change the way that this person was. They had their own issues. It was not your fault that things turned out the way they did, but also trying to see the underlying lesson in that. So I understand you may not be able to see that now, but that star card is making me think of reflection and being able to see things from a higher vantage point. Like we've got a lot about being higher here with the spirit, with the bird, the star, Archangel Raphael looking down, and the hot air balloon there as well. There's a lot of being able to see the bigger picture. So I'm sorry to try and connect so many things here, guys, but I just wanted to point out all of this symbolism to you because I think it's really, really beautiful. And I'm also seeing so much butterfly energy here as well with the wands cards, all this beautiful butterflies, this feeling of evolving and again being free, being able to fly and being released from that cocoon to go and explore something more beautiful. So I'm going to put your charms on top now, group number 2. And if you're wearing headphones, you might want to turn the volume down a bit because it can be a bit loud when I shuffle them. So group number 2, what is coming up in your love life in June 2020? Okay. So let's see what we've got. Any initials first is what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, so we've got the letter X. And this could be a first name or a surname or a place name for you, but I'm thinking for a lot of you, it's going to be about an ex, someone who you're no longer with. And also when I get the X, I'm thinking of like pressing the X button, like deleting something from your life. So that's quite powerful. Let's see what else we've got. So a lot of things have kind of landed around here. So this came out for pile number 1. That's interesting because obviously this is we use the Harry Potter Funko Pops in this reading, and this to me is a Harry Potter charm. So it symbolizes the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, and if you've not seen the movie or read the book. I actually can't remember how it's described in the book, so ignore that. But it's like a circular door with these snakes all around it, and so it makes me think of opening this chamber and letting out this monster, or opening like a can of worms, if you like, and having that awful situation where you're like, oh no, I've gotten myself into this and now it's just awful. I made the decision to open that door and I knew I shouldn't when I did it, but now it's happened. But it's just saying that please just know that this situation you've been through needed to happen. You needed to experience it in this life to become stronger, to become maybe more compassionate, to learn certain lessons about what to have in relationships in the future. So you needed to release this monster so that it wasn't hanging over you anymore. So just hopefully you can take some peace from that. I'm also seeing the starfish, and the starfish charm for me is always about healing. So when they lose a limb, they grow it back. So this feeling of healing and becoming whole again. I think for a lot of you that you've given away a lot of your power and energy to someone else or to a situation, and now you're learning to become whole. So then we've got the chair, and we've got this worry thread wrapped around it. So the chair for me is a symbol of being stable and being firm and having that kind of solid, firm foundation. And so with the worry thread wrapped around it, I think you're worried about getting to that position where you're able to be secure and stable again. It's like you're almost not sure that you will ever get back to how you were before, and maybe you won't be how you were before, but you'll be different and better because of it. Like you'll be stronger, you'll be braver, you'll be more loving and more compassionate, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Also got Ganesha here. So if you're new to my channel, whenever we get a god charm coming out in a reading, it means that this god is reaching out to you, saying that they would like to help you in your situation. So if you feel called to, maybe pray or light a candle or meditate and call upon Ganesha. He's the Hindu god of wisdom and healing, incidentally, and also removing obstacles from your path. So if you want to call upon him for some help or some guidance, then do consider doing that. It can be very rewarding to make that connection to the divine in that way. Also seeing a lovely little love heart here for you, so that's really nice. And I've just dropped it. Always dropping things when I lift them up. But yeah, got that lovely love heart reminding you that love is in your future for you, and that this is just kind of a little bumpy part of your path, and you will be a lot stronger when you get out of the other side. And I think you're nearly there, is what I'm seeing from these cards. Like you've been through this situation in the past, I think, like last month, maybe a few months before then, might even be longer. For some of you, we all take different amounts of time to get over things and to process things, but I think definitely you're nearly there. Can see the black obsidian ball, so this is about overcoming obstacles. So again, beautiful repeated messages. Oh, I love this. Got the cartouche, and cartouches were used in ancient Egypt. They were either worn as a necklace when the person was still alive, or they were placed in the tomb when they died, and it was a symbol of divine protection. So basically it said the person's name, and it said this person is protected by the divine for their entire lifetime, and then when they go into the afterlife they'll be protected as well. So I take this charm to mean for your entire journey in this life you are going to be protected, and also in your next lifetime as well you will also still have that protection. So never feel like you're alone, never feel like heaven has forgotten about you, or that your actions or your suffering or your experience is not being seen, because it is. And I love that it's come out on this card as well. I think that's very validating for a lot of you. And we have the Six of Wands charm. That's lovely. So good news is on its way. Better times are coming. You can start to feel excited. You can start to feel like you're going to have your day. You're going to have your victory, your moment. I've got a sword here as well. So this feeling of defensiveness going forward. And another god charm, and this also came out for pile number 1. So this is Hermes, or Mercury. And he's very similar to Raphael in many ways, because Raphael is the protector of travelers and also a healer, and that's the same of Hermes. So I feel like in many ways they work together, or that Raphael is kind of coached or managed by Hermes in some way. I don't know why I think that. I just think that in the angelic realm there's a hierarchy, so it should be the same in all aspects of the divine. There's like a hierarchy with managers and then people who are training and stuff like that. And then we've got the worry thread again, but this time it's wrapped around this explosion. So this feeling that something happened very quickly or very suddenly and you were unable to affect it or to bring about the change that you wanted to bring about. So again, I just want to remind you that you did all you could and that it wasn't your fault that things turned out the way they did and that they needed to work out like that in order for you to grow and to have this experience. So again, just make your peace with that and know that it was meant to happen. We've got the cactus here, and the cactus for me is about being in survival mode. So getting through the tough times. They live in a very harsh environment and yet they survive. And that's the same for you. Another part of a worry doll, this is a worry apron that one of my worry dolls was wearing. Basically these threads all came because he kind of unraveled in the charm tin. So seeing that you are very worried about your love life and about what's going to come forward in the future. But I want to tell you to have faith and hope, because that beautiful star charm has landed on the star card just as like a double message. This is why I love doing charms and dice and things as well as the cards, you guys. I love seeing the synchronicities and the repeated messages that come out. It's a beautiful thing. So have hope, have faith. You're being guided. You're on the right path now. You've kind of been pulled out of a situation where you were straying from your path, and now you've been put back on the right path, and things are gonna be a lot better for you in the future and long term as well. So that's really nice. And then this muffin, this is a nice charm. This is one of my favorite charms. This says take care of yourself, and it says treat yourself. So have something that's a bit indulgent, whether that's kind of nice naughty food like muffin, cake, chocolate, whatever, whether it is getting yourself a new haircut or getting yourself some brand new clothes that are maybe a bit expensive but you enjoy them, and feeling bolstered by that. So there's a lot of repeated messages with group number 1, but I feel like this is more to do with your recovery, whereas group number 1 was more about they're making that decision now to step away from someone. So just know that things are going to get better. I'm going to put your dice on top now. So which set of dice am I rolling for group number 2? 4. Okay, that's the same as group 1 as well. So you might want to watch that if you're feeling called to do that, or if you were already feeling pulled to pick that one as well. A lot of synchronicities. And yeah, I just want to say with that muffin, be kind to yourself, guys. Don't be harsh on yourself. Don't talk harshly to yourself in your mind or when you're kind of muttering to yourself. I do that all the time. Talking, like walking around my flat and then realizing that I'm having like a full-on conversation with myself. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, okay, how many dice am I going to roll for group number 2 today? 7. Okay. It's another interesting synchronicity because pile number 1 got 2 and there's 9 dice in the set, so it's like you got the other part of the dice. Really weird. So what's coming up for pile number 2 in their love life in June 2020? Okay, let's see what we've got. Just gonna take in what I'm seeing. Okay, so we've got quite a few characters coming up here. We've got Marvin the Martian, and he's like my second favourite Looney Tunes character after Taz, the Tasmanian Devil. Do comment below and let us know who your favourite Looney Tunes character is. When I get Marvin the Martian, I think of someone who feels like an outsider. They feel like they don't fit in. And also they may be quite a guarded person. Like one thing that I always notice about him is that we never see his face, only those eyes. So it's like he's hiding who he really is because he knows he wouldn't be accepted because he's an alien. So there's a feeling here of you just feeling that you don't fit in, or that you never find the person romantically who really gets you or who really understands you, and that you're always having to change yourself to fit in. Got you Samity Sam as well. So he is a very angry character and quite a jealous character as well. So whenever I pull that dice, I think of someone who's very negative, maybe abusive or toxic in some way, so that may resonate with you as a past relationship. But it's possible that you're also kind of talking to yourself in this negative way, and like I said, being very harsh with yourself. Maybe you are criticizing yourself for things that you've done, or saying that you're stupid or something. And again, I just want to say, thinking about yourself in that way or overanalyzing the past when there's nothing you can do about it now, it's not helpful. So as tempting as it might be to get into that situation where we're overanalyzing what we've done and thinking about what we could have done better, it's best if we just make our peace with this and move forward. I'm also seeing the barn here, which makes me think of storing things up. So like storing up energy now in order to have a relationship in the future. So it's like you're kind of bolstering yourself, you're getting ready, you're not quite there yet. It feels like you're not quite ready or comfortable to have a relationship again, but you're getting there. It's like you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I think, or you certainly will be in June. That beautiful star card, it's just, I keep looking at that, like keeps catching my attention because it's such a beautiful card. I've also got this old-fashioned telephone, so this is making me think of communication. Maybe you start talking to someone in this month. Also feeling about like opening up to other people with that Martian dice there, like don't keep things inside, share how you're feeling, and that's how you're going to get support. Also talk to your angels, like they really want to help you, they want to have that relationship with you, but they can't help and step in unless you ask them. Unless it's a life or death situation, they can't interfere with your free will in that way. So do communicate with them. And then here we've got this is like a classic Looney Tunes thing. Someone has painted a tunnel on the wall so that someone will run into it and like knock themselves out. So I feel like you've kind of been led up the garden path by someone in the past. And what I mean by that, if I think it's a British expression, so if you're not from the UK, I'll explain what I mean. Basically, that means that someone has been leading you on, making you think that they could give you a future, like saying, oh yeah, we'll get married one day, or yeah, I'm totally on board. When I'm more settled, we can have a committed relationship, or when I get away from my parents, we can have a committed relationship. And they knew in their heart and mind that they were never going to be able to offer you that, because it just wasn't what they wanted, or it wasn't something that they would be able to offer anyone, like a committed thing, or whatever it was that you wanted. And so you've been unfairly treated by this person. They've kind of tricked you, they wanted you to stick around, so they lied to you, or they manipulated you in some way. And so I just want to give you that validation and let you know that that was what was happening. And you know, it wasn't you going mad, it wasn't you being unfair to the person. Like they genuinely were treating you in a way that was not fair to you. So just make your peace with that moving forward. And then we've got the person who is like, normally happens when someone's standing on this, or when there's like gold or something here. So they're like cutting around this person or this gold so that they just fall through the floor. So this again is making me feel like the rug was pulled out from under you with that suddenness. I think things changed very suddenly or very unexpectedly, or maybe deep down you expected it, but it kind of still caught you off guard when it came. So again, just being kind to yourself and allowing yourself to process that. But I do think that things are going to get a lot better for you soon, and you're certainly going to be feeling that your spirits have lifted in June. And lastly, we have lovely Grandma here. She's a really nice character, landing on the Seeker of Wands. And so Dorothy, it's not a grandma that she has, but she has Auntie M, and she really, really wants to get home to Auntie M, who loves her and cares about her. She was just a bit bored of Auntie M at the start of the film, but now she's realised like how much that she really loves this person and cares about them. So it feels like there is a calm, loving presence around you, whether that is a friend or a family member who really cares about you. Maybe you've been really missing them recently because you couldn't see them due to the global situation, but there's a sense here of wanting to be at home, maybe wanting to be a child again and have that experience, because I think for some of you this person will have passed over by now, and so this is like a kind of a fairy godmother who's watching over you in some way, like a grandparent or maybe a mother that you've lost who is watching over you, because it's also making me think of the good fairy in The Wizard of Oz, and she is kind of like a guardian angel or a fairy godmother to Dorothy. She's always there in the background watching what she's doing, and she lets her make her own mistakes so she doesn't interfere. But at the end, she comes in to tell her that all along she had this ability to be happy and that it was within her. So really nice energy there of someone watching over you. So I think definitely be assured that you have a lot of divine presence around you that's coming across so strongly through cards and charms and dice. So I think a lot of you really needed to hear that message, because I think for some of you, you've been feeling very alone recently, and I'm kind of tearing up a bit because I'm getting a lot of like intuitive spiritual feeling here, and I think you've been feeling very alone, and you just needed to hear that you are actually being protected and guided and watched over, and that there is a higher purpose to this situation where you've suffered or you've just felt so low. So just be really assured that things are going to get better for you as we move into summer. Group number 2, and now you can go and you can pick your gnome. If you haven't already, go back to the front of the video, or if you kind of remember which one you chose, then go to the timestamps again, and that's going to give you your channeled messages and some more information on your situation. Okay, so I'll say quickly bye for now. Hey there everyone who chose group number 3 with Bellatrix Lestrange. This is kind of the main body of your reading, and then when you get your gnome, that's going to give you your channeled messages and just a little bit more information to make the reading more personal for you. So let's look at your tarot cards first. We're using the lovely Ramses Tarot of Eternity. So we've got the Strength card, and this is Leo energy. Then we've got Judgment and the Empress. Wow, all major arcana cards. Okay, so I'm feeling like in June, you're feeling more empowered and kind of more ready for love. Group number 3. I don't know if you've been kind of taking a break from love, or if you've just got out of a relationship in the past few months, but now you are definitely ready. You're looking, you're excited. There's just a sense of bring it on that I'm getting from these cards. Like, yeah, okay, I'm ready now. Now it's my time. So definitely looking at that there with the Empress, like feeling that you have got so much power within you, and like feeling really happy in yourself and in your own body as well. Like, you know, being confident in who you are and not comparing yourself to other people. And that Strength card as well, just making me think of the strength within you and feeling really powerful, not in a manipulative way, or not in a way that, oh, I'm better than everyone else, but just in that sense of I'm powerful, I know who I am, I know what I want in life. So that's a really nice energy there. And that Judgment card is also just making me think like it's your time now. Like this is the rebirth, this is your time to shine. You know, we all get our time coming to us every now and then, and sometimes it's like a lull period and it's not our time, it's someone else's time. But now it seems to be, it's like your summer, which is really nice. So let's see what your oracle cards have to say. Actually, we'll start with the inner child cards. So you got 2 of these. I only wanted 1, but I took both that came out. So we have the Ace of Wands. It's really nice. New beginnings. An Ace of Crystals. Okay, so this is Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. So 2 new beginnings for you. So really positive energy. And look, we've got a little gnome here because the crystals part of this deck is all about gnomes. So really lovely that that's come out for you. And I love this Ace of Wands. This came out in one private reading that I did, and it was such a powerful message for that person. So I wonder if they're watching this now. But this butterfly image with the fairies as well, it's just making me think of, again, now it's your time. Like you've come out of that cocoon and you're ready, you're excited, you're enthusiastic. You want these new experiences. So maybe where you live, you're now able to go out and about a bit more. Maybe you're just opening yourself up to the idea of love. Like maybe you're looking online, you're starting online dating, or maybe you've been introduced to someone through a friend and you're talking to them, but there's a feeling of, wow, yeah, I'm ready now. I'm stretching my wings and I'm going to fly. That's really beautiful. And this gnome has struck an enormous crystal, and there's this rainbow shining down upon it. And this makes me think of leprechauns. So in Irish mythology and kind of British folklore more generally, if there's a rainbow, then at the end of the rainbow, there's a leprechaun who has a pot of gold. So it's this feeling of the rainbow shines and then there's the beautiful abundance that comes from it, the wealth. So Ace of Wands is like this new beginning in an exciting sense, and the Ace of Crystals is saying there's a new beginning in a stable and committed sense. So I do wonder if some of you will be getting into relationships or getting into like a dating situation with someone in this month. It's really exciting. But one thing I do want to point out is you'll see around the borders here, there is some snails, there's an acorn, there are these frogs. So this feeling of things moving like slowly, but at like a stable rate. So, you know, we've got a lot of potential here with those acorns, but we're just moving forward slowly. We're not rushing anything. We're just enjoying the time. So really lovely that you've gotten these two aces, and I just love this rainbow here. It just makes me think of hope and joy, you know, the rainbow coming out after the rain. So this feeling of maybe we've had a difficult time in the past, but now it's beautiful. I love this card, maybe because the gnome is on it, I don't know. I love it. So we've got an Oracle of the Mermaid card. The Selkie and her skin, reclaiming your authenticity. Yeah, so the Strength card, Empress card, Ace of Wands, all feeding into this feeling of, right, I'm going to be me now. And I'm not going to settle for less than what I'm worth, but I'm also just going to put myself out there. And if people don't like it, fair enough. But I'm gonna have fun. It's my time now. That's really what I'm feeling from this. You're being authentic. You're not gonna change yourself for anyone else moving forward. You're gonna be you. Maybe that's why you felt drawn to Bellatrix, because she is herself. And people may like that or not. So we've got the 12 dancing princesses, and this is the enchantment card. It's from the Faerytale Oracle. All of my decks that I use are in the description box at the bottom somewhere. I always put those in for people who are interested. So yeah, enchantment, this feeling of your attention being caught by someone in this month and feeling, ooh, I like this person, like, this person's interesting, or I'd maybe like to get to know this person a little bit better. So that's a nice message for you. And your romance angel is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So very nice. I think there's definitely a person on the cards for you in June. Really interesting for you, group number 3. So I'm going to put your charms on top now. So if you're wearing headphones, maybe turn down the volume just a little bit. These can be a bit loud when I shuffle them. So group number 3, what is coming up for you in your love life in June 2020? Okay, let's see what we've got. Any initials, first of all? Okay, just one. So we've got O. That could mean something to you as a first name or a surname or a place, but don't worry if it doesn't. It may only be for a few of you. So what else have we got here? So we've got the word love, which is very, very nice to have that on that romantic feelings card. We've also got the umbrella, which for me is a symbol of protection. It's keeping the rain off you. Then we've got the infinity symbol. Now that doesn't come out very often. So with that judgment card, I am wondering if you're going to meet someone that you have had a connection with in a previous lifetime, because that's that feeling of continuation and infinity there. So we've got the baby tapir. So whenever I get that charm, I think of someone who's maybe not very assertive, someone who's quite shy and gentle, can't speak up for themselves. So I feel like you're evolving out of that and becoming more of the lion that we see in the strength card. This is Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess. Getting that fierceness back and that lust for life and that strength within you. So we also got the flexibility charm as well. So that's interesting. Being adaptable but not bendable is kind of what I'm feeling like. You know, not not sacrificing your personality or what you want in a relationship for someone else, but at the same time not being so rigid that you're not prepared to make any compromises. There's also the fire extinguisher. So this is about putting an end to a difficult situation, putting an end to like a panic or a crisis in your life. Again, like that rainbow coming out after the rain. We've got the movie camera, so I like that charm. For some of you, that will have some meaning on a personal level, like you may be a photographer or a filmmaker or an actress. But for me, it's about lights, camera, action. So things have been working out for you. The universe has been laying the scene on the stage for you, and you've been backstage, like you've not been aware of what's going on the stage, but then they're going to call your name, like this judgment moment, and you're going to step out into the spotlight. It's going to be your time. So I love that we're getting these synchronicities here. I'm also seeing the Christmas tree, so that's a symbol of winter energy. So I don't know if that was the last time you had a relationship, or if you've been getting over things that happened for you around winter time. We've also got the ballerina, so an interesting, like another performer there with the ballerina, and also, you know, the gymnast figure. That flexible charm is similar to a ballerina in many ways, but the ballerina is about thinking through your choices so that you don't make any mistakes going forward. So maybe in the past you've rushed into a relationship, or you have been really overwhelmed and felt really intense feelings towards someone straight away, and so it's saying just be a bit more level-headed this time, and just remember that those feelings that you feel that are very intense, that's not what love is. That's the feeling of lust and attraction and, oh my god, this person's great, I want to get to know them. But it's not the feeling of love. Like, that comes later and that develops over time, and it comes with a lot less fanfare than the feeling of lust and attraction. So just be aware of that don't let yourself be bowled over by someone and end up putting your needs second again, because there's a strong feeling of empowering yourself here. Can also see two starfish here. So there's one there and one there, and the starfish is the symbol of healing for me, because they lose their limbs and then they grow it back. So feeling like you're becoming whole again, you're, you know, getting back to who you are and reclaiming those parts of yourself that you've given away by giving your power or energy to other people or situations. It's interesting, we've got quite a few repeated messages for the collective coming through. It's really nice that I'm seeing all of this kind of synchronicity in all of the readings I've done so far. So I'm seeing the gun as well, and this for me is a symbol of negative emotions. So if you are carrying resentment from the past, if you are carrying pain or hurt or blame, maybe even shame from the past, just allow it to be released. That those starfish charms saying allow yourself to heal from that. You don't want to be bringing that into a future relationship, because that will maybe color the way that you treat the new partner, or it will, you know, taint or poison that relationship in some way by bringing back insecurities. So that's also what the Strength card is about. It's about healing and releasing those things that we're carrying around. So what else have we got? We've got the toxic person charm as well. So I do think some of you have not had the best experiences in relationships in the past. Also seeing the octopus charm. So things are about to get a bit busy for you. You're going to have a lot of things to think about, a lot of stuff to juggle. And we've got Red Riding Hood here. So this is the feminine charm. This is representing you if you are a feminine. Red Riding Hood is also saying don't let anyone pull you off your right path. Always remind yourself of where you're going in life, what you want, what you will accept and choose for yourself, and don't let anyone, any wolf figure tempt you away from that into, you know, living a life that's less than the best, living a life that's less than what you would want a loved one to accept for themselves. So we've also got the peacock charm here. Now this doesn't come out very often as well, but this is such a lovely message with the cards that we've got for you today. This feeling of unfolding and wanting to be in the spotlight. Like, yeah, I'm fine with people looking at me now. I want to put my best foot forward. Peacocks, very big attention seekers in a way, but also very attractive, beautiful creatures. And so feeling like you know, maybe changing your style a little bit or having a bit of a glow up. Just getting ready to get back out in the world is what I'm feeling from your energy today, group number 3. So we've got the suddenness charm here, the explosion, something happening very quickly, maybe unexpectedly, and the gear. So when this falls on a card, I say that this is already in motion, it's already happening. So it's landed on Judgment and the Empress together. So your time is pretty much already here. If you're not feeling that kind of spotlight moment already, then you'll feel it very soon. And the Empress is also saying that you're getting to this place already where you're feeling a lot more respect and care for yourself, and you're feeling like you're ready to move forward and you're ready to experience new things and expect the best for yourself. You know, the Empress would not settle for any less than the best because she's the Empress. She knows that she deserves only the best. So start to see yourself in that way, not in a snobbish way or trying to put other people down or think that you're better than anyone else, but just saying, look, this is who I am. I'm going to treat myself like a queen. And if you don't want to do that, well then next please. That's what I'm getting from that there. And now we've got the Jolly Roger flag. So we've got this skull and crossbones twice. So when I get the Jolly Roger flag, I think that someone has shown you who they really are. So maybe you had a horrible realization that someone you really cared about or really into was actually not a nice person, or they were not who you thought they were. So just having that as an additional message that might resonate with some of you. So I'm going to put your dice on top now, group number 3. So which set of dice am I rolling for group number 3 today? 6, okay. So that is the Voyagers story cubes, these ones. And how many of these dice am I rolling for group number 3? 3, okay. And you've got the Empress, which is a 3 as well, so maybe that has special meaning for you. So if you're new to my channel, I use a lot of different divination techniques to get a full reading, because I like to see synchronicities with the cards and the charms and the dice. I think it really validates those messages for people who are maybe wavering, and it's also just lovely to see how they work together, and I think it's also makes it a lot more fun as well. So what is coming up for group number 3 in their love life in June 2020? Okay, so we've got the telescope here. So maybe you've already had your eye on someone with this landing on the enchantment card. Maybe you've already been eyeing someone up. Maybe you've had your head turned by someone recently, or you're going to in June. This feeling of, I'm observing this person, not in a creepy way, but I'm just kind of like watching this person, thinking I'd like to get to know them better. And then we've got the cactus here, which for me is a symbol of survival, getting through a harsh environment, getting through a very difficult period of time in your life, and then thriving. So, you know, cacti live in the desert where there's barely any nutrition, barely any water, but they're able to store it up within themselves and make it last. So this feeling of you being a lot stronger than you think, again, coming back to that strength card. All of these cards are so empowering for you today. And we've got the cave as well. So I think you've been in a little bit of hermit mode. You've been in that cocoon, and now you're ready to come out and shine as that peacock, as that butterfly, just ready to stand in your power and experience whatever the universe wants to throw your way. So really beautiful messages for you today, pile number 3. So now if you want to go back, if you can't remember which gnome you chose, or if you didn't do that, you can go back to the start of the video and pick a gnome, or if you remember which one you chose, you can go to the timestamps in the description or in the comments and just jump to whichever gnome or gnomes you chose. I'm just so happy that this card came out. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll see you again in a moment. Hey there everyone who chose Gismund as their gnome. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So we're going to look in the gnome bag and see what Gismund has to say about your situation, about what's coming up for you in your love life in June. Just check there's nothing left in there. Okay. So we've got 2 gnome tarot cards a Whispering Woods Oracle and then your channeled messages. So we'll take a look at these first. So we've got shine brighter than the morning star. And just let go, it's easier than you think. Okay, so when that first message came through and I wrote it down, I was thinking like, that's really weirdly specific. And I was kind of thinking like, what are you trying to tell me by doing that? I kind of channeled these messages from the angelic realm and from the earth elementals as well. But then I just heard like a clarification in my mind after I said that, and it just made so much sense. Like the morning star is that bright star in the sky that seems to outshine all of the other ones. So it's saying shine brighter than that. But the morning star has also been connected to Lucifer, who has been connected to the devil. So it's making me think, you know, shine brighter than those people that try and pull you down. Shine brighter than the insecurity within you. This feeling of overcoming the devil and overcoming whatever wants to pull you down and whatever wants to make you dim your light. So that's a beautiful message. And also this just let go, it's easier than you think. Sometimes when we're faced with a decision or faced with doing something that we don't want to do, the actual thought of doing that is a lot harder than actually doing the thing itself, you know. So there may be something that you need to release or let go of, and you've been putting it off, but it's just saying it's easier than you think to do that. So let's look at your Gnome Tarot cards. We've got the Dvojka Čaš, the Two of Cups, and Spor Vinograda. So this says collecting the grapes, or like collecting the harvest of these grapes. And Mir, the world. Okay, so I just want to point out that the Gnome Tarot cards don't necessarily have the same meanings as the regular tarot cards do, but this is saying that you are going to reap the rewards of the efforts that you've put in. So if you've been doing a lot of inner work, if you've been doing a lot of kind of self-healing, trying to move on from the past, cutting cords, etc., you're going to get the rewards of that moving forward into June. And also it's talking about like positive karma. So if you've been acting in your integrity, if you've been a good person when other people have been really acting out of ego and being mean and cruel, then you're going to get your good karma, they're going to get their negative karma. And then this world card is just talking about completion and feeling whole and feeling at one with the world again and with the universe. So if things have been very, disruptive, very unsettled in your life, and you've been feeling very ungrounded, very overwhelmed, that's about to come back into balance for you now. So that's a really nice message of kind of balancing out the energies, healing, and getting back what you've put into the universe. So if you have been shining and, you know, doing your very best to be a good person and to put forward that loving, good, positive energy, then you're going to get that back now. So that's very nice. And your Whispering Woods Oracle is trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. So this is nice. This is nice. Trust in yourself, not in other people. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. So yeah, just remember that you need to trust yourself first and foremost. You need to cut yourself some slack sometimes, and there's just this strong feeling here of empowerment. So I wonder if you got the first pile where I was talking about that Queen of Swords energy with the Snow Queen and Snow White. That's that feeling of like trusting in yourself, believing in yourself here. So that's a really nice message coming through for you, Gismund's group. So that's all I have for you today, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. The gnome messages are always short and sweet. They're just that little extra bit to add on to the end there to make it more personalized. So if you've enjoyed this reading, please do let me know how it resonated with you in the comments below, and please do like, share with a friend, and subscribe. It really helps my channel and helps me to get more videos out. If you want to show your support for the channel, thank you so much. There is my Patreon page. It would be lovely if you would join me over there. There's so much fun stuff over there, and it's just expanding over time as well. Or if you would like to leave a donation, a tip, that's great. There's my PayPal link. Or if you want to donate a deck, that's amazing. Please do check out my Amazon wish list. Anyone who wants to book a private reading, There's my Etsy page in the description as well, but remember to leave your name, your email address, and the names of everyone involved as well in your question when you book the reading. And have a lovely rest of your day at Gismund's group, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hey there everyone who chose Gunvald as their gnome. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look inside the gnome bag and see what Gunvald has to say about your situation, about what's coming towards you in June in love. So we've got, oh, you were the pile that got 3 gnome tarot cards. I only wanted 2, but we got 3. And then we've got 2 channeled messages and a Whispering Woods Oracle card. So we'll take a look at your channeled messages first. So we've got your decisions are more important. And let yourself breathe. Okay, so I think the people who've been choosing this pile have been kind of stressing out lately. I think you have been being too hard on yourself. And with that, your decisions are more important thing there. I think maybe you've also been sacrificing what you want for other people. And so what the angelic realm and the earth elementals, like the gnomes, because I channeled both of them when I did these channeled messages, what they want to tell you is put yourself first for a change. Cut yourself some slack as well and allow yourself some rest, but also, you know, it's your decisions that are going to affect your life. So if you're living it based on what someone else wants for you, or if you're putting your desires and your needs second so that you can appease someone else, that's never going to be a healthy dynamic in any relationship, whether that's romantic, friendship, family, whatever. So just bear that in mind. So let's see what your gnome tarot cards are. So you've got Smert, which is death. 7 of Pentacles, the Semyorka Magnet, and it says Sakrovisha. So this is treasure. And Semyorka Bulav, Raznaglasia, so the 7 of Wands, and it says differences of opinion here. I love that image. This is interesting because the gnome tarot cards, they're not kind of exactly like the normal tarot cards. Sometimes they're pretty different, but I think it was pile 2 that had death and the 5 of Wands, and for me this 7 of Wands is a lot like the regular 5 of Wands, like this differing of opinion. So it's interesting that you've got both of those here. So I wonder if you also chose pile 2 as well, and that you're getting this repeated meaning. So with the death card, you've left something behind, or something has ended for you, and it's time to start looking towards the future. It's time to think, okay, that thing has ended, that's not going to bring me any benefit anymore. What can I do moving forward? And with that differences of opinion there, I want to connect it to this channeled message, like your decisions are more important. So maybe someone has been trying to push you down a certain path, maybe wanting you to be with a certain person. Maybe your parents don't approve of someone that you were into, or the kind of person you normally go for. Maybe it's to do with the relationship itself, and this was a situation where you both wanted different things and you had to step away. But this is just a validation that your decisions, your choices are the most important thing in your life. And so you will find someone who is on the same wavelength as you. But if that person wasn't on the same wavelength, it's time to move on and make your peace with that situation. And this treasure card here, it's just making me think of 2 things. Because obviously the 7 of Pentacles, it talks about a little lull, a little waiting period while you get back on the horse in many ways. But that treasure feeling, it's saying like you do actually have a lot to be thankful for in life. You have a lot that you could express gratitude for. And so it's just reminding yourself to count your blessings in many ways and just enjoy this period of time that you have to yourself to expand and to heal and move on and breathe. You know, take that time to rest and to lick your wounds if you have been through a very difficult time in your life. Lovely. So we've got hope here. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. So I love that. Just have hope for the future, because like I said, you will find someone that's on the same wavelength as you. But if someone was cheating on you, which I think is what this gnome is doing, like he's waiting to go out and sneak out and see someone else, and so his wife is ready to beat him over the head with something. If you get into that dynamic where you're constantly second guessing yourself, that's not a healthy relationship. And so I think some of you have left connections like that and let them go. That hope card is really lovely at saying, just remember that things will improve for you. They will get better. Always have that faith and never let anyone dampen your sparkle. Never let anyone dim your light. And don't do that voluntarily. You know, don't dim your light for anyone else just because someone is jealous or insecure about themselves. Don't dim your light to make anyone else feel more comfortable, whether that's a romantic situation or your family or your friends. Don't do that. So I hope you've enjoyed your reading today. This is all I have for you today, Gunvald's group. Please do let me know how it resonated in the comments below. Please also like, share with a friend and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you want to help out the channel, thank you so much. You are so kind and generous. I would really love it if you would check out my Patreon page that's in the description box. I'd love to get to know you better over there. Or if you'd like to leave a one-off donation via my PayPal link, or if you would actually like to send me a new deck, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for your kindness. Anyone who wants to book a private reading, the link to my Etsy page is in the description as well, but please remember to leave your question, your email address, and the names of everyone involved, including you, when you book a reading. So that's all I have to say for today. I'll see you again soon. Take care of yourselves, Gunvald's group, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye bye. Hey there everyone who picked Geir as their gnome. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag and see what Geir has to say about your situation and about what's coming towards you in June in love. Left something in there, I can feel it rustling at the bottom. So we've got 2 channeled messages, and I channeled them from the angelic realm and also from earth elementals, so gnomes, fairies, etc. We've got 2 gnome tarot cards and a Whispering Woods oracle. So we'll take a look at the channeled messages first. So you've got, what will you accept for yourself? And you've got, I've been waiting for you. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's saying, what will you accept for yourself? What is your standard? What do you want in a relationship? Where are you going to put your bar? Like, if you're going to set your bar low and let someone manipulate you, or let someone treat you in a way that makes you feel very upset, very anxious, very damaged, or are you going to set your bar higher, even though that might seem scary and you might feel like you're eliminating options for yourself? Just choose to accept only the best for yourself is what that is saying, and it's asking you to reflect on relationships more generally and what you want. And then, I've been waiting for you. So this is saying that there is someone coming towards you in your future, and that you needed to go through the experiences that you've had so far in order to be in right alignment with this person. So there were some things that you needed to learn about relationships so that you could have a better relationship with this person. So that's really, really nice. So let's see what your gnome tarot cards have to say. So we've got umierennost, which is temperance. And we've got Deviatka Mieche, so that is the 9 of Swords, and it says duel, so jewel. So, small caveat, the gnome tarot cards, they're not always exactly the same in meaning as regular tarot cards. But what I see here is that you have possibly removed yourself from a third-party situation, or from a situation where you were kind of at each other's throats in the relationship, and there was a lot of arguing, there was a lot of trying to one-up each other, and you know, it was like there was a power struggle within the relationship, or it's like this person was playing you and someone else off against each other. So just take that however it resonates for you. But I see you coming back into balance now. You're pulling yourself away from this fight where there's got to be a winner, and you're pulling it back into balance, and you're saying, actually, there's 2 cups here, 2 people can have equal amounts of give and take, you know. So there's this feeling of coming into balance and accepting this more beautiful, loving relationship for yourself. And I see there's also some daisies here in the background. I've never been drawn to this before when I've looked at this card, but now I am. So you might want to look up the meaning of daisy as a flower. Maybe someone could post it in the comments below for us, because that might have some meaning for you as well. So lovely little daisy flower there. Maybe that's your name as well, Daisy or Marguerite. So let's look at this card as well. So it says adventure, live wild and free. Okay, so yeah, there is a new beginning coming forward for you. There is some new start, some new experiences coming for you in love. You've been brave to pull yourself out of a situation that was very negative. You've been brave to be able to get over that. And now it's like you're ready for something new. You're ready for the next challenge. So this is exciting. There may be someone coming towards you in this month or very shortly after that. But just look forward to that and be aware that you needed to have these experiences in order to really appreciate who you are and get back to that lovely measured self. So looking really exciting for you, Gaia's group. So that's all I've got for you today. The gnome messages are always really short and sweet. So please let me know how it resonated with you in the comments section below. I'd really love to find out what you think of the reading. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share with a friend and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Trying to get seen by as many people as we can so that we can share the messages and the love and this lovely community that we're building here. It's just so lovely. If you want to support the channel, thank you so much. I would love it if you could check out my Patreon page that I've linked in the description. It would be great to get to know you better over there. Or if you want to make a one-off donation, thank you again. You're so kind and generous. I have a PayPal link. I've also got my Amazon wish list for anyone feeling especially generous and wants to send me a deck. And also there's a link to my Etsy page for anyone who wants to book a private reading with me. Please remember to leave your question, your email address and the names of everyone involved when you book that. And yeah, that's all I have. So have a lovely rest of your day. Group number 3. This is Gnome C, Gaia. And take care of yourselves and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi there everyone who picked Gjord as their gnome, my last group. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag and see what Gjord has to say about your situation, about what's coming towards you in love in June. Something else in there. There we go. So we've got 2 gnome cards for you. Whispering Woods Oracle and 2 channeled messages. I channeled them from the angelic realm and also from earth elementals like gnomes, fairies, etc. So let's take a look at these first. So we've got it's time to take that leap. Don't worry about the future, it can wait. Okay, so it's time to take that leap. It's time to be the fool. I don't know if you got the fool card in your reading, but it's time to be the fool and take that leap of faith and just allow the universe to catch you, allow God to catch you, and you know, everything to just work out by itself. And that don't worry about the future, it can wait. That's quite a nice message actually, you know, not worrying about the consequences of what's going to happen, not worrying about the long-term future of a situation or a relationship, but just knowing that the future will sort itself out, essentially, is what that's saying. Like, it's not for you to worry about right now. Just enjoy the moment. Be that fool who lives in the moment. So that's a lovely message for you, Gjord's group. So let's look at the gnome cards. So we've got Corolieva Mieczy, the Queen of Swords, Soglasia, and this means agreement. So I wonder if you picked pile 1, where we had, I think we had the Fool in pile 1, and we also had the Snow Queen and Snow White, and I said it was giving me that Queen of Swords vibe. And we've got Pięciorka Mieczy, so the 5 of Swords, and it says Svoboda, freedom. So I think freedom was also a big theme in pile 1, so it's really interesting. If you did pick that in this pile, let me know, because like that's so cool. So yeah, I'm seeing you choosing yourself here. I'm seeing you choosing to free yourself from situations and just take that leap. That Queen of Swords, sticking up for herself, being independent and strong and saying, now it's my time, I'm going to do me. I'm not going to sacrifice my wishes for anyone else. And that freedom card, it's also kind of a fool energy here, because it's very different from the regular 5 of Swords. He's eating this chicken that he's cooked for himself on this fire, and it's just like, I'm going to have what I want, and I'm not going to have anyone else take this from me, and I'm not going to have anyone else, you know, decide what I'm going to do. I'm just going to enjoy the life I've built for myself. So they work quite nicely together as a group, this feeling of freedom and choosing you over other people. So I think it's definitely a time of being freed from restriction and shackles and a situation that has just been holding you back and draining your energy. And then we've got surprises. Under the most ordinary garden stone. Oh, sorry. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. That's really beautiful. So there's some surprises coming for you. There's maybe some things that you didn't expect. The Fool also talks about unexpected opportunities coming your way. So when you have faith, the whole world just opens up. The whole universe opens up to you. So I really like that message of under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden, because that's like saying like even the most unassuming and quiet people have this whole world inside of them, and it's like this microcosm of everything they've experienced and the whole universe. It's making me think now of, I can't remember which god it is, so you might want to comment below and tell me if you know, but in Hindu mythology there is a god who, I think it's also with Loki in Norse mythology, but I'll keep going. So there's a god who might seem quite unassuming, I think. And so the other gods are like, well, what can you do? You're not special in any way. And he opens his mouth and he's got the whole universe down his throat. So it's like what's on the inside is so much more valuable and so much bigger and more important than anything that they could have hoped to do. So do let me know if that's also something to do with Loki, because I don't know where that's coming from. But also let me know if you know which god that is, and if you know the actual myth, because I've probably remembered it a bit wrong. But I just remember that he has the whole universe down his throat. So would love to see that in the comments. But I do think surprises and new exciting things are coming in for you. So it's really cool to look forward to that in the summer. So that's all I have for you today, Gjord's group. Please do let me know in the comments how it resonated with you. And please do like, share with a friend, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really helps my channel want to make this community even bigger and get these messages out to even more people who need to hear them. And if you would like to support my channel, thank you so much for your kindness. I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page in the description. Or if you want to make a one-off donation, there is my PayPal link, and also my Amazon wish list if you're feeling especially generous and you want to send me a deck. Thank you so much for that, and for everyone who's done that so far. And if you want to book a private reading with me, the link to my Etsy page is in the description as well. But please remember to leave your question, your email address, and the names of everyone involved in your question when you book a reading with me. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining me today. So have a lovely rest of your day, Gjord's group, and take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye, take care.